Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 4, just the base game, well, with Law Resistance and all the other DLCs. Playing the Soviet Union, so we're looking at that. Now, we have set up a spy network out here in Spain, in national Spain, so I don't know, do we want to capture the cipher, infiltrate? Send these to not the one that has the network there. Prepare. Okay. Anti-fascist diplomacy, very good. Border conflicts. Oh, down here. Oh, we have border conflicts down here. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, let's... Far Eastern fortifications. That looks like a plan. Okay, let's see how this works out. He's sending in forces. To move the armor division down. It looks like our armor division is not getting involved. Japanese victory at Lake Khasan. We must prepare an appropriate response. Okay, wow, that was fun. Okay, we're now producing a little more fighters. Got scout planes, got tactical bombers, I think more fighters. But, which means that we're really now looking at needing to trade for more rubber. Should have exhausted our... Let's do United Kingdom. We may do so. Steal some blueprints there, Arno. We'll see about that. I've not yet set up a network to properly do that. I don't know if we are. Not that I don't want to. I don't necessarily... I want to also experience prepared. Okay, commence. Concentrated in industry. Do we even go down the radar path? I don't know. I don't know if that's a luxury that we do or don't have. Let's improve our artillery. I think if I was going to do tech stealing, I needed to focus on another country other than Spain. PPSH 41. Wasn't that a 1941 tech? But okay. How about the Germans hitting all of the Soviet airfields? Opening the Barbarossa. Okay, yeah, now... send some tank boys to China. That's maybe an idea. Hmm. Trying to think about that. So what would be the effect of because I'm not going to, at least in Hearts of Iron 3, that's what I'm thinking of, effectively just remove the Soviet Air Force or parts of it. So it needs to have an effect. So would I just make bomb air forces or air bases so that they're less built up? So they have less levels, so they don't, can't put as many units on them? Or do you try to just make air power a little less effective or something? That's interesting. Sending an attaché to China. Attaché sounds better than sending our troops. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just quickly look. Diplomacy. Send volunteers. Well, we might be able to send that, but I don't want to send that guy's force. It's already sort of sitting there. Yeah, attaché. We have the diplomatic. They will accept. Let's send an attaché. There we go. Well, for the moment, with the political power, I don't want to send more attachés to that theater. Let's look at our intelligence agencies. Radio interception. We haven't even got that done. I don't know that we're going to do blueprint stealing this playthrough. I like it too, Arno, but let's do radio. I guess we should probably go over to war economy right now instead of this. So let's do that. That should help our economic development out considerably. Let's put a, I don't know if these are actual radars, but let's put one here in Moscow. I often put them on the border to look into other countries, but I figure we're going to be here on the defensive. Wow, it's going to be lots of factories going away from. What's going on? Ukraine. Yeah, well, maybe even criticism. Yeah, the Ukrainians did for a while until they got screwed over by the Germans too. We already have. Oh, okay. See, Ari has not played Third Reich events, so he doesn't know what's in it. So he doesn't see all of the stuff that we already cover there. Okay, Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. The German Foreign Ministry has proposed a non-aggression pact between our two nations. This treaty will greatly increase our mutual trade, and additional secret protocols suggest the division of Eastern Europe into German and Soviet spheres. While the fascists in Berlin may not be trustworthy, this pact will allow us to deal with Finland, the Baltic states, and Romania without fear of outside interference. Yeah, I wasn't sure about Romania in this. Eastern territories of Poland will also befall, I think it should be to us in the event of a Polish collapse. Now I'm a little more picky for a company versus a mod in that. Okay, sign the treaty, gain claims there. No deals. That, of course, is the smart path, but we're going to take the historical path. Italy joins the Axis. Good night, AZADs. Thanks for being here. Now that we have that, I don't think we get to, okay, claims on the Baltics to improve the Stalin line. Okay, so this is still coming. And we're doing the Far Eastern, which is coming pretty quick, but I know that you have the, it's more over here is the Kalk and Gaul, real sort of battles with the Japanese. I don't think the Japanese push much over here by Vladivostok. Now, I say that there were hundreds, literally, conflicts between Soviet, Mongol, various Chinese groups by both Japanese and Manchukuo, and this sort of this Benguko is sort of Japanese occupied Mongolia, or puppet state, I should maybe say, or whatever. But and the Manchukuo and forces were also operating in here. There's hundreds of skirmishes, shall we say, not things that like this sort of happened on divisional scale. I'm talking various patrols of, I don't know, 50 to 200 men on a side that sort of encounter somebody, and they think they're in their own territory, and they've encountered, and they may think they're well in their own territory, and they encountered some other armed forces, so shots start ringing out. Now, there's not, and they say like the, because the border markers, these are, I don't specifically know on any one area, but these are basically some sort of post put into the ground. Some are more formal, big monument kind of things. Others are just maybe literally a wooden post driven into the ground. And along some of these border areas, now some of this is along the river, and the river shifts and changes, and that causes some of the conflict. But some of these are not clear. Now, there's a lot more of them going on between, shall we say, Mongol/Chinese territory versus the Japanese/Manchukuo territory, but they're happening all around all the time. Mostly there's a few shots, maybe a few people get, hit with bullets, whether they die or just wounded or not, I don't know. But these are, firefights are going on all the time. And a bunch of the time, one or both, maybe both, well, I guess theoretically, even if both sides weren't going to be in other people's territory, just units aren't precisely knowing where they are. They may have a compass and a kind of a map, but they don't have GPS. They're sort of, and it's not like well demarcated along a river, but this river is sort of has multiple. It's a sort of wide wandering affair that's sort of more like this, in that there's sandbars, and that where is the boundary, and there's multiple sort of streams, if you will, in some of this, and so you might think, oh, they're in our territory, let's shoot at them, and each side. So it's not necessarily being aggressive. It's just units that are back and forth. Hey, thanks. How you doing? Again, we're calling you Monk because I don't quite get all of the Cyrillic. Can you show us your ships in Vladivostok? What can they do? Oh, well, I don't know. Yes, I can send them here. Do we have a naval officer that we want to put in charge of these guys out here? He's a submariner. He's a ground pounding shore bombardment. Okay, well, we have submarines and that. So we'll see about if we want to do this. But basically, we have 15 subs, 2 destroyers out here. That is it. And that may be, don't know if that's useless. I don't know if that's useful or useless. So I'm hoping to keep the Soviets out of war from Japan. We have our fleet here, which I'm going to think about getting it out of here, because I don't know that fighting in the Baltic state or in the Baltic Sea is useful. We have up here some destroyers, and then we have the Black Sea Fleet down here. Now this is a much more potentially useful, because if we can hold even just one port down here, help us control operations in here. Ah, yes, VE Day in Russia, the 9th. Yes, yes, well-deserved victory. Have a good, I hope you're all having a good day. And I totally understand about it, thinking of it as a great patriotic war. Okay, the fighters are starting to build up a few, but not many, so let's throw another couple of factories on the fighter pile here. Yeah, I think, I don't know how much good, I think submarines are going to be a little more useful out of Murmansk and or Archangel back here. I'm hoping we'll be able to at least keep Archangel. I don't know how hard this will be. Maybe we'll just get overrun. But, well, let's continue to improve our intelligence agencies. We can do machine-assisted decryption. Yeah, that's sort of what we were going for. And so I'm thinking a lot of the subs to get out and up here to do commerce rating out there, maybe, and maybe putting the Baltic Fleet in the Black Sea. I don't know. I really don't. They can lay mines, for example. Well, do any of ours have mine laying capability? I want a nice picture of mine laying. No, these don't seem to have mine laying. Okay, there's a type 2 here. Well, these do have mine laying. Okay, so some do. The L series here, the 2. Okay, well, we have 3 mine laying subs. That could be useful. Okay, currently we have 35 convoys. 135, I should say, available. So we probably have enough convoys now. So let's just go plus to finish out that one. Now that's an idea. I like the idea of mine laying submarines. Which type do we have here that are mine laying? No mine laying. Okay, so if we were to put well, do we have enough to create a variant mine laying there? I don't think so. We haven't really done any research, and I think we're doing the correct research. So let's put that into practice there. Put that into production. Once we get the last convoy completed there, and then we'll shift it over to there. I like that idea of, okay, yeah, there we go. Of mine laying maybe the hell out of there, and maybe some in the Black Sea. Wow, do they have more submarines than in the real world Russia? I do not know. Hello, Rhaegar. I do not. I do know the Russians did have a bunch of submarines. I did not build any, and actually built, well, no, I don't know. I think I stopped most of the production lines, so I don't think I built more than was queued up by much. So I don't know. I just don't know enough about it. Okay, Operation Zent. which requires for Eastern. Okay, this at least 200 stored in a stockpile focus will there. Okay, yeah, Operation Zent is part of our the Soviet aid to nationalist China. That's what overall I think it was generally called. So we're going to do that since that is a thing to do now. I do like it. Okay, let's build. We may be able to hold Leningrad, so let's build a more. That's more of a radar interception tab tower there. See, that's why God, I hate this. I hate the state mechanic. I just vehemently hate the state mechanic. It can be corrected. Now, it can be modded so that all state functions go to the provincial level. And that's what I would do. Because obviously you can have like the state of Gibraltar, which is also a single province. Because if I'm going to build radar, I want to put it, down here in Vladivostok, at least, if not, down here to better look out and see what's going on with the Japanese than centered back here. That's just, part of my frustration with it, along with other things. Yeah, I'm a little worried about giving the radar to the Germans, like in Crimea, to have it overrun. Maybe I'm being a little too paranoid, but I don't think the Germans are going to build there. And so if I build it there, then it gets overrun, and then the Germans have benefit of it. Okay, great radar battle. So you're right about the mechanic. Yeah, it's part of the mechanic, and I can see the best justification is they decided, quote unquote, energy in Hearts of Iron 3 was meant to be the main thing limiting the amount of ICs that you can build. They decided to go over to a slot system for Hearts of Iron 4, and I generally agree with that. And what I would do is just a lot of random provinces have no slots for ICs of any sort. They might have, you'd be able to build and just do it, slots for fortifications or something, sure, but none of these sort of things here. And just, places like Essen and Dortmund and many of the other areas, cities, to allow it, because they didn't want super spam and Slovakia to overdo it. And so just most of these places, you Zelnina or whatever might have one, and Bratislava, I don't know, would have the rest for whatever the 25 here for this province. So maybe one or two up in Zelina, and one here, and one here, and then the rest all in here, or something like that, just so that you do have a maximum amount in an area. And then, because you can easily have the idea of 0 slots available for any industrial capacity in Gibraltar. So you just do that in other areas. May mean a little more work, but it works out better, I think. Earth curvature is more of a thing in real warfare. Okay. How do I put this? Partially it is the game mechanics, and partially it is a got another noisy vehicle going by. Part of it is the scale that the game is set at. You're absolutely right. Curvature of the Earth. Now, because of their air zones, and I have mixed feelings about air zones, I have less problems with the air zones than I do with the. Now, I still have great problems with the teleportation, zipping from air zone London to air zone Berlin without having to fly through the intermediate air zones. That's a serious problem. But just the concept of air zones, I have less problem with. I do think you should be able to. Well, I don't know, but I was thinking, being able to put air units in more than one air zone. Well, yes, no, there's arguments to be made. And so the idea of putting up, whether I put one, whether it's, per state or just out here radar in Calais, put one there versus, one in each province along here. I don't need the micromanaging of having to, build how many radar sections. Now, obviously, this is a super wide, British channel, just so that we can click on these, sea provinces better and whatnot. So there's reasons for that. This is a bad map. Good game playing reasons, in my opinion. Positive game playing reasons. I don't know if you quite need this middle channel going through it, but definitely each sort of border site sort of needs that. And to sort of look at, and these radars are also meant to be radio interception towers. Whether you should break them out or not is another question. So I'm generally supportive of the idea of radar, and that if you build up a, in one location, the big stack getting further out. So I'm generally in favor of it. Now, if you're talking overpower in their effects on combat, that's another question, and I'm not ready to prepared to answer whether I agree or disagree. So generally speaking, I think they're doing all right with radar. It's more of where you get to build it. And just think it's not one radar, it's a system of radar in an area. And even so if you build radar level 4 in Calais instead of building, radar level 1 in Dunkirk, Calais, and Boulogne, and Dieppe, and whatever going on down along here, it sort of just equals out the same thing. And we all know that radar, and you're right, curvature of the Earth, the idea is that radar is picking up aircraft, because the British radar picked up aircraft that was taking up and, forming formations over, the Low Countries in this part of France, and getting ready to, go bomb Britain. So they were getting warnings out over here. Obviously, they weren't getting low-flying aircraft over France from Britain. So, yeah, it was that kind of thing. In my opinion, the mechanic of air battles in Hoi 3 is better because you can send planes to help the land battles as needed. I am more reconciled to the air battles. I do sort of like, if it wasn't for the teleportation thing, because you can specify what areas you are operating in for your air power, and you can attach air operation units to specific armies. So, and I don't normally do this, so it's not something I do a lot of. Let's go back to the army here. Army viewpoint. Let's create an army here. Okay. And then let's come in here and this bomber group. You can attach them here. Select air wings to attach to this army. Okay, so now this air wing should support this army's operations. So whether this army here is a 4-division army or a 40-division army can affect how impact the air power is. So if you just have air power supporting these 4 divisions, and these 4 divisions are attacking one province. That is more or less, and we can talk about some of the details of it, but is more or less sort of achieving the same thing that you were doing in Hearts of Iron 3 with focusing your air power on attacking a specific unit. So you do have some of that. I'm not saying it's exactly the same or exactly as good, but there is a lot of that can be done. So, like I say, I'm more reconciled to this air system. I don't know that I need big flying air counters moving across the battlefield. I do feel we need, and I don't know the technical difficulties. I've never had it explained to me of why you can't make this air unit travel across, say, these 2 air zones to get to Berlin, or bombers with maybe fighter escort can't fly across these to then operate here and then fly back and take attrition losses based upon air operations in the intermediate zones. I don't know the technical difficulties, but I believe there is a technical difficulty with the engine, is why they don't do it. So I don't know the answer to it. I don't know whether the answer is to try to scrap it and go back to Hearts of Iron 3 air operations, which has its own serious problems too. Don't at all say, oh, it was working perfectly good in 3, you effed it up in 4. No, it wasn't working perfectly good. In some of the ways, it is better in 4. I am reasonably reconciled to the idea of random aircraft flying around the zones to give me some indication of where air is operating, and not needing the counters. You do know I love counters and would prefer that as that, hey, planning a preemptive invasion of Europe, Suvorov style? No, I'm not. We're going to sort of go down. It's more of this playthrough is more of how well can we stand off a German invasion? Is it easy? Is it hard? Hey, just say hi, Genosis. Good to have you here. Is it easy? Is it hard? Whatever it is, we'll see. Okay. And I don't know what the settings and what I'm doing. Instruction level 3 is done. We're going to Japanese Mariana Islands dispute diplomatic protest. The Japanese envoy have lodged a strong diplomatic protest with our government regarding the possession of the presence of our attaché in nations. They are currently in a military conflict. They demand we immediately. This is Japanese Mariana Island diplomatic issue. We have people. We have an attaché in China. Our attachés will be sent where they go where we want to send them. Okay. Now we are going to do extraction, because that's what really is what I want to do, is make sure we have enough resources. Now currently we have, except for rubber, which we're importing, we currently have plenty of resources, even aluminum. And I'm not saying it unlimited amounts, but I do know a bunch of those resources are sort of in some of these areas here that we may lose control over. So having better extraction where everywhere is a good thing. I prefer when I'd be able to see on a special screen auto-generated wings where the AI uses them, placing aircraft into an area, use doctrine, set priorities, air attacks, stuff. Let stuff happen. Yes. Well, one, I don't like to micromanage my air operations. That's a personal thing, so that's fine. And I know a lot of people would rather set up, draw battle lines. Where I like to micromanage my ground operations. Okay, I'm looking here. Okay, I think we can add a couple of more divisions to our production queue. Talented new officers, lowers, okay, well, I guess, we'll do this. So it's supposedly reducing, yeah, it's reduced it a little bit because it was max volunteer was 70, negative 74, and it was division organization negative 45. So we're slowly reducing officer purge. Machine assisted decryption, very nice. No, this is what we can look at. Okay, we don't so much want to do anti-partisan warfare. Research finish, good, we'll get to that in a moment. Localized training centers. Okay, we'll do that. More Soviet spies. We'll improve our anti-tank guns, and we're going to come over here, and we're on our artillery. We're going to upgrade our artillery. Yeah, I'm willing to take some trade-offs to get some of the good stuff, because like equipment production and unit training, you know, this type of stuff is wonderful. What I don't like, though it's a minor issue, and I'll readily admit that it's a minor issue, we're going to deploy these guys slightly early, get them onto the mostly the same thing, is the idea that within Hearts of Iron 3 we can take one brigade and from one division and attach it to another division. Some people like to do it, and I'm not saying I don't like to do it, but some people particularly like to do it because of sort of historical trade-offs, like in the Waffen-SS divisions. That I can live without easily. The other sort of thing is sort of like the conf groups that you have in Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice, and or other specialty small units that including things like railway artillery that you can attach to a particular division and unattach it to a division. So right now with this we could create, and you do now have the ability to have locked templates. So you can't just spam out, not just the idea of only a few because of being elite status, but you can do lock templates that you can't just change over or build more of with the right settings. So that you can have, say, a division, you know, like what would otherwise be a standard division, plus it has a railway artillery unit. That's, you know, so now you've turned this into a siege division. Okay, that's fine. You can do that. I would prefer it to be able to attach and detach, say, railway artillery for besieging, you know, Fortress Moscow, or adding a combined arms or a commando unit to because a commando unit on its own in this scale of warfare will do nothing, but you can attach the commando unit to, say, a regular ground division and give it a little special boost. That is a good thing. And would be nice. Okay, let's see here. Let's in progress or infiltrate civilian administration. Maybe we can infiltrate the nationalist government effectively. Well, that's really what they did on steroids, was infiltrate the Republican government, of course. Okay, so we got some fighters in decent production. Tactical bombers are not in decent production. I think, and I was been thinking a little bit about this, well, I think we're going to go a little more tactical bomber focus than close support, just because of the likely distance from whatever air bases we have to operations. It's so open here. That may be a tactical mistake, but let's sort of focus more on tactical than close air support. I know we could build more air bases, but right now we're just building up our factories. Poland refuses German ultimatum. Okay. Declared war on them. Now, do we get a chance to move in here, or is it just going to happen? Intelligence agency completed. Okay, well, let's see. With a first attempt dash by high waves, a second landing attempted. Oh, success delivered the team safely to our shore. Safely to shore. Our team. Okay. Close. Political power. Civilian infiltration. Nationalist Spain. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Don't know. Localized training centers is what we're producing. 2 more days. We've now infiltrated the. Oh, come on, spies here. Capture cipher. Don't know that we really even want to pursue this anymore. I don't know, because maybe we should be looking more at Germany for doing this. That would probably be the better solution. We'll think about that. We'll think about that. That was more started because we were doing the Spanish Civil War, and I wanted to keep that going there. Well, I think we're going to end this episode here. Let's save this with the starting of the Polish campaign. It seems like a good spot to end the episode. So I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Okay, well, honestly, I mostly watch your campaign videos with this live streams being uploaded. Yes, Dishonor, yes, I'm making episodes. They will go up on YouTube to watch normally. I just do this so that you have a chance to interact with me, and I could just make live streams and let them sort of die, but I would rather sort of do double duty. Oh no, World War II, run away. Yes, run away. Okay, I think we're going to end the live stream here. I'm going to sort of save whatever's going to happen with Poland and our reactions and events to it for next episode next time, and I don't know if I want to play another full episode. So yeah, so don't worry. Want to try out Enlisted? I already tried it a little bit, Ari. I don't know that I want to play it right now much. So I'm not going to be doing that right now. I'm going to take a little bit of break and maybe try a little of Enlisted. I did play a little of the Battle of Berlin. I mean, just less than 5 minutes. Wasn't fair. It was sort of before this, and I just downloaded the update to Enlisted and then tried it for a few minutes. So yeah. Everybody watching now, you'll be able to see stuff later. So tomorrow, War Thunder. If I haven't finished grinding, we're going to continue the VE Day event. So I'm going to get through it. I got the Soviet boat already. Not quite yet halfway to the German thing. The Navy was really good. So I'll do that, War Thunder. And Wednesday we're doing Strategic Command World War I. I don't know whether I'm going to be playing their new special scenario, the Ludendorff Offensive, or whether continuing one of my already going campaigns for Strategic Command World War I. But that'll be Wednesday on Slytherin's channel. And then, of course, next weekend we'll be back. Custom battles only if I get the event finished grinded. I want to get that through the event. The event. Then we will see about some of your ideas for custom battles. Definitely, but first the event.